Hey Daniel, how you doing, bud? So I've got this uh, marking gauge, and this was my great grandfather's. I recently kind of confiscated it from my parents' place, and I want to make just a little minor repair. You see that there's a mortise and tenon joint here that goes into the handle end here. I thought it may have been a marking gauge compass, but I do believe it's maybe just a marking gauge, as Miss Heather said something about that. It doesn't seem to be level, which is kind of strange uh, for a marking gauge, but I guess if this goes off the end of the board, that makes sense. And that's how normal marking gauges are. So I don't want to sound like I have too much expertise in this area, because I don't. But what I need to do is I need to glue up this little mortise and tenon joint made by my great grandfather. Very nicely cut joint too. Don't know if he used machines. I think he was pretty much a hand tool guy. So we'll glue this up, and I'll set that, and we'll go on to the next thing. I don't want too much squeeze out on this because I don't want to mess up the patina, and I don't want to have to sand this wood. So I'm just going to use just a real thin layer here. I think that'll probably suffice. It's interesting that it's broken in such an easy way to fix. I did not manufacture that. That is actually how it was. It's in pretty much perfect condition other than this little issue. All right, now I'm gonna clamp it on here just to be sure that it dries straight and my measurements are still the same. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, but I definitely want it bearing in on that. And I want the glue to set. I probably should have put some on the end there, actually. No, that's right. Take it back, because it's the mortise goes all the way through, so I can't glue the end. Hopefully that'll hold here. We'll put that aside. Got a bunch of cool stuff to talk about. Brought a bunch of the tools here. This is a Shelton hand plane. They look like they're in really decent condition, actually. I believe this is also a Shelton. This one's missing a knob here, but the frog and the blade are still in. So what we'll do is we'll take the blade out. We'll assess whether the bottom is flat, and we'll sharpen the blade. This one's got a nice bottom on it, in my opinion, but I'm not a professional, cabinet maker. So yeah, we'll do that. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. Abraham, welcome, welcome. Looks like my stream is like a little bit behind. Let me close that out and open it again. So yeah, welcome to everybody. Rich Iman, Abraham, welcome. Haven't seen you before, so new. I always like to shout out the new folks, and obviously shout out to Daniel. Anyone who knows me that's up in here, uh, throw a comment on so I can say hi to you. I know sometimes friends tune in. Appreciate that. Welcome to everybody. Rich Iman, Abraham, welcome. All right, so that's kind of a tease that we're not going to do these today, I don't think. We're going to put those aside. And we have some cutting we have to do on our bunk bed project, but since I started working on this mallet, I think it makes sense that I finish work on this mallet first. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to do a bunch of zoom stuff. I have to take out some material. Looks like, let me get a ruler here. So just about 3/16 of an inch, 2/16 of an inch really, need to be taken out of these to get this lined up. Probably a little more actually, but we'll put these here. It's a little tricky because I can't clamp it very well, but we'll get it. I had a bench vise I tried to pick up this weekend, but part of my bench vise is missing, so that'd probably be the kind of clamp you would want to use on a project like this. That's actually pretty tight just with the one clamp. I don't think if I hit it with the chisel, I don't want it to move, so I do have to clamp down the other side here. All right, now I'm going to go zoom in. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. It's Monday. We do every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe, click the like button, join the community. I do want to put some more lighting on here. Hook up some more lights. That should be good. What chisel do I want to use? I'm going to take this little bitty one. Now this curly maple is not the same as the pine, so obviously you're going to see that it doesn't come off with the same kind of ease, you know, as when you see me chiseling pine. You know, the grain direction's a little strange, and now ideal tool for this would actually be a routing plane, and mine is not sharp enough, I don't think, or nor do I have the right clamping system to be able to get it in there. So I'm going to do it manually with a chisel. This is kind of a side project. If you've been watching Dad's Workshop, we're actually working on a bunk bed, but I did want to repair this little mallet, so I do have a small mallet too. Something we started last Wednesday to kind of break up the monotony of the bunk bed project. I broke this mallet on my live and it was not constructed the best, so this way I'm rebuilding it, repairing it so that I don't waste the wood because it was nice curly maple wood. And I have a smaller mallet because I already have a large size mallet that I use, that I love, and I built it this way, the way I'm doing this one. So I need those contacts on the inside of the handle to be nice and flat. Let me check my internet. Looks like I'm coming in a little blurry. Are we back to full resolution? Good. Okay. Maybe I don't need to check it. So yeah, I need this I need this to lay flat. And I can't test the other side of it in here, but it does look a little better already. When I said, which chisel should I use, Daniel said, the sharp one. Yeah, well, hopefully most of my chisels are sharp, though I did discover before I started this live today that a couple of them aren't where I want them to be, so maybe I have to sharpen some tools again. I definitely have a draw knife that I want to sharpen. I brought my draw knife back. I told you all I need that to make the pins for the bunk bed, so I'm going to really have to work on that because that edge is not sharp at all. And it's tricky because it's such a big tool, so you kind of have to create something to sharpen on it, in my opinion. I looked up a couple people online who sharpen them, and I don't understand how they use a sharpening stone on a tool that's this big, you know, or wider. Mine is like this wide. You can't really see because I got zoomed in. But welcome to Dad's Workshop. Appreciate everybody being here. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, join the community. Join the Discord. If you don't see the link in this video, you should see it in my last video. Should still be a good link. I can still see some of my cut line down here, so that makes me think this is a lot higher than the other surrounding areas. Tricky to get my chisel in there for that. I'm gonna tell y'all right now that this doesn't fit after I adjust these two sides. We're gonna go on to the bunk bed project. We're not gonna spend the whole live doing this mallet. I'll finish it tomorrow if I have to. Let's try that side, see how it fits. I didn't do a lot. I do a little and then check it, you know, kind of pretty standard procedure. Probably both sides are not going to line up in exactly the same spot. It is closing in, so we're getting a little closer there. I'm actually kind of happy with how this chisel cuts through this maple. All the stuff I do on here, this is not expert level stuff. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. Like Bob Ross used to say. Remember, we're like Bob Ross here. We're trying to relax. And this is nothing but like a dovetail, you know? That's what it really is. This mallet is going to be smaller than my other one, but it may hit with a little bit more force because of the difference in wood. The other mallet's head is ash. I haven't looked up which wood is harder or heavier. I tend to think ash is more of a heavy wood. Maple is definitely a strong wood. If I was guessing, and I've read this before, but I don't remember what I read. I studied, but I couldn't remember it for the test. I do believe maple is a stronger wood than ash, but I think it's going to depend. Probably, somewhat. And here on Dad's Workshop, you see the whole process. That's really key to this is watching the whole process unfold. Let me try this in here. Looks better. Like a little higher on the top there. In a second, I'm going to see who's in the chat. Let's see who's in the chat. It's a little blurry. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel says maple's surface hardness surpasses ash by around 20%. 20%. So 20% harder. That's great. That's good information. Let me check my internet connection because it doesn't look good right now. go for the box, like my internet source here, it always. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Click that like button, click that subscribe button right now. We are building a mallet, or we're repairing a mallet that I built and broke. And we are fixing it in a way and such it will be better mallet. I'm just going to take a little more material out of this because once I pull these clamps off, and these clamps are set pretty well, so maybe hard to get them good like that again. It's tricky with this. Is why I put holes in the bench though, because of things like this and not having a bench vise, you know. Want to welcome Narelle, Potato Man, Richmond, Abraham, all the new folks. I'd like to shout out new folks. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Click the like button, subscribe. Appreciate you all being here. It could be anywhere, but you chose to be here, and that I appreciate. This little vein in this maple is like almost like a knot. The wood around it is nice and easy to pare out, but this darker colored stuff, I don't know if you can see with the zoom, this little dark line right here, but that wood, and this is curly maple, so it's a little trickier because of the grain direction. Seems like over here is where there's most of the wood still left, so we'll attack that. Check in the chat. Whoops. Somehow I exited out. Welcome to all of you. It's a good Monday. A lot of you in here today. Make sure you click that like button, subscribe. We're repairing and building a new mallet, or repairing an old mallet. I can see from the camera angle up here, there's a little bit of roughness right in this spot right here. Don't love that look. Almost like blowout. So about 3/16 of an inch of total material needed to be removed from this to make the mallet head fit. And let's pull it off here and check it out. Wow, now we're really close. Just looks like the bottom side of this one needs some pared away. Really close now. See, now our edges are touching here, but I want it touching all the way, and you can see down at the bottom here. So I think some material from right here in this area, that's where it really needs it. Like I told y'all, it can be tricky to put these clamps on with this kind of a small workpiece, but you got to secure your workpiece for sure. All right. And obviously, I just mentioned that the colored streak through this maple here is where the wood is the hardest. Makes sense that that's where the material needs to be removed. I should probably turn it around, to be honest, and come from the other angle. Nah, it's working. My other mallet. This broken mallet's actually skinny enough to get in here. Yeah, there's some right there. So basically, to construct this mallet, I used a protractor and decided on an angle, just above 90 or below 90 degrees, depending on how you look at it. And then we cut basically a dovetail into it, and that's what's going to hold the mallet on. Let's take a look at it. We're probably really close to getting this thing fit. So close, so close. So close, though I do see there is still some material out of the bottom that needs to be taken out. I think it needs to come out of this piece though. That was the piece I wasn't just working on. Yep. So from this end, and I'm going to turn it like this so I can chisel out that way. Seems like that would be more effective. So let's try that. I can see the raise in elevation basically in the wood here. It should come out easier from this angle because I can flatten my plane against this other side and push, and it should catch that bite on that wood. Let's look at the chat. Yeah, right now, that must have been what you said a minute ago. Sorry, Daniel, didn't catch. Daniel says I need to flip it and do it from the other angle. This this right now, I think, is the right angle for this one. Hopefully, he was talking about this, and he was right if that's what he was saying. I pronounced him correct. just about there. I think maybe just a hair more. Let's see, from doesn't really matter, I don't think. So it looks like I've taken more material from this side, so I will take just a hair more from this side here. In that direction. And then we'll be ready to glue this thing up and hopefully have a better mallet this time, you know, if at first you don't succeed and all that. I'm hoping that does it, guys. Pretty sure it will. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we repair, restore, build new things, learn stuff together, talk about random stuff. Drop something in the chat. Let us know your thoughts. All right, top is definitely there. Bottom is there. I think we can do it like that. Now it slipped through there, but we'll push it up a little bit on the handle, and that should hold. I mean, that should be really sturdy. I don't know. I don't think I want to take any more out there. I think that's about enough. So now what we got to do is we got to glue this up and clamp it really tight. Make sure we got these ends where we want them. Mallet head where we want it. Glue it up. I should have sanded that side. I want to sand it a little bit so that there's some smooth edges to edges, a good glue side edge, you know. When the mallet is kind of finished, it's kind of hard to deal with squeeze out, so I'm even more careful with how I apply glue to these. I'm not as liberal with it because I don't want to, it's kind of hard to get in those nooks and crannies and clean glue out. But you need those edges that are going to touch to be very, like to have enough glue on them to have a little squeeze out. Which is all of these edges here. There. A shim somewhere here I want to use to kind of, well, I had one somewhere around here. Use a smaller clamp than that. Try to get that glue out of there. And we have our mallet ready to cure up. Welcome to Dad's workshop, where we just repaired and put back together a mallet that was poorly built, which I will take the responsibility for. I had never built a mallet before. I just bought them. That's just me being honest. But someone suggested I build one, so this was the first one I built, and the design was not great. I will admit, I don't Google everything. I like to come up with creative solutions myself, so maybe I should have. Give you that much, but I didn't. So take that much away. We'll wait on that to dry up. These are the Shelton planes that I took from I have some, these are my great grandfather's planes. We're going to take a look at the blade. I don't know if we're going to do that today because I got to cut some on the bunk bed. I'll probably zoom out and go to the bunk bed here in a sec, where I'm working on putting in a couple boards. But these will be, we're going to look at these and sharpen these blades and assess the bottoms of these as well going forward. This one's, I forget what they call this piece. There's a lot of pieces to a plane, and they all have their own little names. So we'll look at those again. The blades don't look too bad. The bottoms don't look too bad either, especially since they were my great-grandfather's. Not too bad for that long amount of time. I also have a whole bunch of other tools, including the tool that I glued up earlier, which was a, what do you call it, a marking gauge, a longer one actually. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Click that like button and subscribe button. We got a lot of people in here today. Appreciate everyone being here. We need those likes to go up. YouTube, you know, that's a big deal for them. So as far as I do this for no money at the moment. I'm not monetized. So I need those likes. I need those subscriptions. If this isn't your cup of tea, I understand. But if it is, click that like button and show some support in that way. I'm not asking you for money or anything like that. So let's keep this community growing. Let's keep YouTube accountable because this channel gets a lot of views. We had something like, we've had as much as 30,000 views in one stream. So I listen to podcasts that don't get that kind of viewership. So if you're interested in it, it's okay to just go with what you're interested in. Here's the bunk bed we've been working on. What I need to do is I got to cut these boards into place here. Like this one right has to go in and the next one has to go in. And I've already laid out the marks for those. So I'm going to go ahead and... This is Dad's Workshop. Appreciate everyone being here. I got to just go get a glass of water and then we'll continue. We're back. Shout out to Daniel. I was involved. Missing my boy Ruiz today. Don't know where he's at. Probably came in at 5:30 and saw I wasn't here. Rolled out. Sorry we were a little late today. I'm going to use the cross-cutting side of this Ryoba saw. That's the rip cut. That's the cross-cut side. good on the other side too. Bob Ross moment. I wish y'all had smell-o-vision. The smell of this wood, this is spruce. It has the, I love that smell. Keeps you woodworking. Little things. These are going to be some stop cuts so I don't blow out wood. Careful to make sure these don't go below the line. It's all right if they're a little above it, because we can pare out the waste or the difference, but below we shouldn't do. What happens when I hit this thing too strongly. Sorry, it'll come out anyway. I approached this bed like a timber frame. That was the goal here, to use conventional ideas from timber framing to frame a bunk bed, and this has no metal fasteners in the whole thing. So if you're new to the channel, if you're a regular here, friend of the show, this bed has no metal fasteners at all. Wood on wood joinery throughout. Sorry if I'm standing in front of it. I had to get some of the waste there from that angle. And this ain't your IKEA bunk bed right here. I promise you that. There we have one dado recess cut in there. Check to see, does it sit this side of the wood in it? It's a little, looks like it's a little skinny for that. It's pretty close. Nah, that's good. That'll work. I don't want to make it any wider. All right, so you see it goes in, boom, just like that. Interesting, you'll notice a difference in the wood here and the wood here because this is a different kind of wood. This is spruce. This is actually southern yellow pine, or SYP. But you'll notice, I should probably zoom in, just talking about wood stuff. If you look at the end grain, SYP is cut better than the spruce. SYP is flat sawn away from the heart, and the other piece is cut right through the heart. So chances of the SYP board warping is less than the chances of the spruce warping because of where it's cut from the log, and that's like super important stuff. Make sure my angle's good again. Go over to the other side, do the other side. Yeah, we went a little below that cut line down there, which ain't good, but you know, doing my best. I don't have a mirror to see that other side, so. And there we have it. The next board in our rungs put in. Tomorrow we'll probably cut that next rung. I have it laid out. I'm a little worried about it sitting above this joinery because there's obviously housing cut in here. So it already weakens the wood. We have to think about those things when we're crafting something from scratch. You have to think like an engineer. Where is the joint going to be placed? Like this is okay here, but the next board 3 inches away would be placed somewhat over where this joint occurs. So I'm going to think about that tomorrow, see if I have a better solution. I do think it'll probably be fine because that's why I have this much wood here for support wood. But I do want to think if there's a possible solution for it, if we can come up with that. And if you have ideas, definitely drop them here on the chat or in the Discord. Anything like that. Appreciate you. Somebody click that like button. Give me 10 likes today. I just need 10 likes. 10 likes. It's not any money. All you gotta do is click that like button. Let me know, let YouTube know that you're around here and that you liked it. We appreciate you. I certainly, for one, appreciate all of you being here. Daniel, appreciate you. Let me go back through the chat, see who we had here today. Not a lot of chat today. Potato Man, Jew Norell, Richamon, Abraham. Appreciate all y'all dropping a comment, dropping a line. Glad everybody came today. Yeah, take care, Daniel. Appreciate you being here. I'll be back tomorrow, 5:30. Hopefully, actually at 5:30. And we'll continue this journey. Oh, see, you all see where that pin came out there. We got to stick the pin back in before we go, just so you know. This little pin right here. Kind of a little bit more support there. Appreciate everybody being here. Sorry about distracting you, Daniel. Appreciate you being here, though. Love everybody. Give somebody a hug, and I will see you all tomorrow.